Now let's move from Agenda 2030 back through to the World Economic Forum and Global Village collaboration and the Metaverse. Debbie, you were very astute in picking this up.
Well, you know what? I'm not even going to say too much about it, Brian, because I know that you've got some video there, but I didn't know that this existed. Apparently, it was announced in Davos this year, the Global Village. Who knew about that? The World Economic Forum's Global Village, which actually means the metaverse. And well, if you've got the bit of video, I really don't think I need to say much more, but we are all entering a whole new world.
Here in Davos, we have our global collaboration village that we've built with Microsoft and the World Economic Forum. We chose to focus the example on one of the Sustainable Development Goals, and in partnership with 1 Trillion Trees, our team just created this amazing experience of the Sahel and the Sahara Desert's encroachment on the Sahel. And the feedback that we've been getting from clients is you could be told about the Sahel. You could be, you could hear a lecture about it. You could see pictures of it. But to actually be standing there and to hear the wind from the desert, to be able to see the movement of the trees, to be able to, the baobab trees, to be able to get the scale of them, to be able to see the fruit, actually crack it open. Now suddenly we're having a totally different conversation because, one, we're having that direct connection. We know that we're focused on each other. And two, we are standing in the data, in the experience, in the context, and are able to then relate to it, talk about it, and really drive a whole new level of empathy and understanding. And one of our clients who went through, I think, said it perfectly. These platforms are going to enable us to understand how the macro decisions we're making globally are felt on a micro level in a super specific way. And I think that's exactly right, and the real potential and benefit of the metaverse.
Debbie,
And it doesn't stop there.
Debbie, before I let you comment, I just want to say, for people to really grip this, please go and watch the 3 segments of the interview that I did with Sandy Adams, because she takes the audience through the detail of how this thing has come into being and where it leads to. Sorry to interrupt you there, Debbie.
No, not at all. Sandy's honestly, it's literally mind-blowing. I mean, this is just the start. You heard there, global decisions are going to be taken in the metaverse, and it doesn't stop there. You'll be buying your house in the metaverse. So real estate, there's plenty of little videos. I don't know if you've got a clip or not, but it's quite a long clip, but there are some amazing things going on in the metaverse, and it's hitting us now. This is real. And our children apparently are going to be spending 3 days of their lifetimes, 3 days a week in the metaverse where there's no regulation. So I would urge everyone to watch Sandy's interviews, because really it's a very, very big subject, and one that we should be taking a lot of notice about.
Okay, thank you for that. We have
Metaverse real estate. Well, it's one of the most exciting things that we've been dealing with in some time. So it's real estate that is virtual, where parcels of land is sold, and then some of the top retailers and businesses of the world, entertainers, create incredible activities on it, and it's all locked into the blockchain for perpetuity. And this one is sort of less new than you think. People have been working on it and building whole worlds for a very long time. With that said, the power of the metaverse is going to be what users who are in the metaverse do. Because once again, I believe the land is more of a rounding error to the experience. So how fast do users have to move? Yesterday. How quickly are they going to profit from it? Over the next couple of years. If you are in a fierce competitive retail environment and you are in physical showroom space and you're on the internet but you're not using the metaverse, you're missing one of the clear channels in to sell product. So I believe that you absolutely need to be there today. Look at what happened with Gucci on the metaverse. They sold a virtual bag for more than the physical bag in the real world. This is not going away. And you could very well see, for example, in the real estate world, the use of digital twins to show space and also to look at how we do make an impact on sustainability in the world, modeling and running algorithms to see how buildings operate. If we don't have a Manhattan in the metaverse, that would be more surprising to me. We had the internet 1.0, which a long time ago was emails. Then we moved to the internet 2.0, which is really your social media. This is just a natural migration to a more physical approach to a virtual world. And I think it opens up a series of ways for people to interact with each other, sell to each other, and for innovation to move ahead.
Well, my comment on this, apart from the fact that I believe the man is a very dangerous man, I think he's very foolish, or he's been brainwashed to say. Debbie, he said driving empathy. We're improving empathy by actually isolating people in this terrible false reality. And he goes on later to say that they're connecting people. So he can't even grasp what he's talking about himself. But this drive to the metaverse is a reality. And as I'm going to show in a couple of slides in just a few seconds, we can see who's driving it. But what's your comment?
I can't really add anything to that you've already said, Brian. It's terrifying and it's here. And I just wanted to bring it to people's attentions like Sandy has as well, because we need to be warning our youngsters. We need to be knowing what's coming up. I really can't add anything else to that except join the dots, and you'll soon get to the conclusion that I've got, which is that the metaverse is not a place I want to be in.
Well, look, Debbie, just very briefly before we move on, somebody in the chat box said this is bonkers, and somebody else commenting on it effectively having failed already because Facebook is losing money. But Facebook has renamed itself Meta because it wants to brand itself as being out front with this. But Facebook is not what's driving this. We're talking about a whole infrastructure around AI and digital twins and the big corporate players and lobbyists. And there's billions and billions and billions of dollars going into this already. Forget about Facebook, it's just entertainment. They are, this notion of the digital twin is something where they're attempting to replicate the entire planet, and they are putting money into it. So it's not something that should be written off.
No, and you're quite right. You know, we've been talking about digital twins for a while, and then you've got to think about the medical metaverse as well. You know, this isn't just about buying real estate and sending your kids to school in the metaverse. This is about having operations being experimented upon in the metaverse as well. I mean, it just goes on and on and on. And yeah, what can I say? Can't add anything else.
Okay, thank you for that. Well, just to ram home what's happening here, you've got a sneak preview there. Let's pop up sort of who is driving this stuff. So we're back to the World Economic Forum. So that will bring us back effectively to Rishi and his boys. But what's the World Economic Forum got to say? To find this, you have to go into their segment, which is the fourth industrial revolution. And then you get to the headline: we're a global multi-stakeholder platform focused on inclusive technology governance and responsible, well, that's questionable, digital transformation. And this is how it is being done. We deliver on the ground impact at global scale through 16 centres across the globe by leveraging the efficiencies of network-based collaboration, shared learning, and accelerated time to impact. So this is very, very powerful people who are driving this behind the scenes. And what interested me here was the World Economic Forum talking about their partners in the Centre for the Fourth Industrial Revolution. And it says that the network benefits from the generous support of Motsepe Foundation, Reliance Industries, as well as its founding partner, Salesforce. So I thought we'd have a quick look at that. Well, this is the lady, the co-founder and chief executive of Motsepe, Precious Moloi-Motsepe. And she is a remarkable woman because she's popped up as a businesswoman and philanthropist, Chancellor of University of Cape Town, but she's got a professional background as a doctor. She's into fashion. She's been to some of the best schools worldwide, Harvard Kennedy School. She's a woman's leader. She's everything. This is a future leader, as Common Purpose would describe them. And we're to believe that this woman is helping to drive all this. Here's Reliance Industries, and what caught my eye was that it's one of India's largest private sector companies with a consolidated turnover of $44.7 billion. And where is it based? India. So that's a nice little connection back into perhaps the Rishi Sunak empire. And here's Salesforce, leading customer relationship management company. Leverages the combined power of the cloud, etc., etc. But where's it based? In Switzerland, which just happens to be home to the World Economic Forum and the Bank for International Settlements. And let's just end this segment with a very short video clip with somebody warning about where we're going with currency, which of course digital currencies, which is a key part of that. And I'm going to say a big thank you to Sonia Poulton for this little clip.
Very recently, this government passed what they called a gagging law. Now, if anybody, imagine if our money's tied up in a cashless society and we go against their gagging law, for example, we speak out, they'll press a few buttons and we won't be able to access our money. We will turn into riots. I say no to a cashless society. It's our money and we keep it.
Right, not a stopping now.
So I noticed that the two men there in the background were busy smirking as Sonia got into that, but in reality, her warning is very accurate.